well, it might or might not. And the problem here, is that the speed test is only concerned with uploading or downloading stuff. It isn't concerned with things like gaming, other than the ping time, which is useful. So let's take a quick look, see if I can figure this out. I've never actually used this one before, but it looked kind of cool, so we'll use it. Um, it's kind of a Google whiteboard sort of app. Um, so let's see. I want a pen is good. Okay. So let's just say, you know, I am here. What what Speedtest says is, it says if there's a server up in Columbus, what is how quickly can you transfer information in bulk from Columbus to my house? And obviously, how quickly could I transfer information from my house to Columbus? And that assumes that I've got a big chunk of data, and I'm going to chop that up into messages or packets, and I'm going to send one of these packages at a time. If something gets lost, there's essentially a message that comes back. It's not quite. Those of you that know about TCP know it's not that simple, but conceptually, if I send something, it gets lost, a signal comes back, I can send it a second time to get it in, and ultimately what Speedtest measures is how quickly can I get through that process. Problem is that let's see, there is an eraser here somewhere. That's a laser, a text box, a square. It's got to be over here somewhere. There we go. So let's get rid of this stuff and see what we really want to do. First of all, I'm not entirely sure that I'm interested in sending stuff to that big server in Columbus, but that's we'll figure that one out in just a little bit. But I'm really not super interested in transferring sort of bulks of information in bulk. It's got to be. I guess it's probably faster to erase the frame and do it over, isn't it? We'll do that next time. So what I really want to do is I want to send audio and video. And the problem with audio and video is a little bit different. So in audio, we talk about samples. And so an audio encoder generates sort of an equally spaced series of samples. In video, we talk about frames mostly because they're bigger. So in video, I create sort of equally spaced frames, and they're not necessarily the same size because of some trickery that we play with. Encoding video. The problem is, in order for the receiver, so the good folks over here, for them to actually hear that audio, it needs to really kind of show up there more or less the same way. That's not going to happen. First of all, there is going to be a delay. Not much we can do about it. That's where that ping time is useful. And so that ping time was really, really big. Then the audio would be delayed. Not a good situation. But not much we can do about it. It just makes two-way conversations harder. Normally, it doesn't matter so much if we don't hit 100 milliseconds plus. I remember doing experiments over satellite circuits, and that will drive you batty. The delay is just long enough that you say something and the other person tries to interrupt you. Of course, you don't hear it until a quarter second later, and by the time you hear it and stop, they assume that you're not going to stop, and it's really messy. So lower delays, not a huge problem. What is a problem is if this stuff ends up showing up with the wrong spacing, right? So maybe I get this one, and I get the next one over here, and I get a couple really close together, like that. That's really hard to reconstruct the information again. And so if the distance in time between the packets changes, then if it changes dramatically, I have to compensate for that, and I have to compensate for it by sort of buffering up a bunch of stuff so that the decoder has something to work with, which means I introduce more delay. So and if we're trying, again, remember the target applications that we're sort of interested in are things like Teams or Zoom meetings, Discord, where we're trying to talk to each other. And if I'm in a Discord with a bunch of other gamers, it's no good if there's too much delay between somebody saying, "Hey, you need to turn around that corner," and me actually hearing it. That would be bad. So the change in so here my packets are nicely evenly spaced. Here, these are too far apart, and this one is kind of small, and this is really small. That difference is called jitter, and so we need tools to work with that.